and welcome back to the adventures of Ryder and Mr. Self. It was another day in English class. Ryder drifted in and out of attention, for, after all, he was an excellent speaker of English, and most of his teacher's instruction wasn't even about the language, so much as pleading for Ava to stop swiping expo markers to sell on the black market. One magical day, though, the teacher actually talked about something Ryder didn't know about: the perfect tense. Very few students can master perfection, the teacher said. Most never try, but even those that do find the task simply impossible, to go an entire day keeping in the perfect tense. However, once upon a time, a student named Mr. Self actually did it. Of course, none of the students believed the teacher, except for Ryder. "Mr. Teacher Man, I accept the challenge." "I'm sorry, Ryder, I didn't challenge. I will go an entire day speaking perfectly in the perfect tense." The students cheered, mostly because they were missing their smartphones and needed something to do with their hands. The next day, Ryder awoke the way Mr. Self had always taught him. "Good morning, Earth. You are the paint, and I am the fingers, and today we are going to get messy." Ryder said it before he realized it. The verb are. He had broken perfect tense. Oh well, he thought, there's always tomorrow. The next day, Ryder awoke and said, "Good morning, Earth. I have awakened. You have painted usually, and I have fingered paint sometimes. And so today we have traveled to have gone messy." Ryder smiled. He was nailing this perfect tense stuff. And he was, until first period when the teacher asked who was ready to learn today, and he answered, "I am, dang it!" with the dang it part because he realized he had thrown away his chance at a perfect tense day. "This is going to be harder than I thought," Ryder said out loud before correcting himself as good practice for tomorrow. "This has hardened my thoughts about easiness." It was no easy task, but Ryder disciplined himself to respond with perfect tense in the days that came. Of course, some kids purposely tried to sabotage his efforts by jinxing him. They would remind him that he was having a perfect tense day, a clearly unethical thing to do, for then the pressure would mount, and then Ryder would yell out, "I can't take this!" And then another chance would have been blown. Even Warball managed to sabotage Ryder, for after his team won the school tournament, Mr. Self created a force field that kept balls from hitting his team. Ryder shouted, "We win!" only to realize he should have shouted, "We have victoried over the opposition!" Finally, Ryder did it. He went an entire day in perfect tense. He was ready to make his acceptance speech, crack open the champagne and the ski goggles, and go crazy, when a small child knocked on his door. Who has knocked?
"Mr. Ryder, can you read me the story of Are You My Mother? Ever since my mother passed away, I have had another role model read to me each night the story to remind me that I am loved."
Ryder sighed. He was going to have to change tense on the fly to keep up. But he did, and the story, "Has Mother Birthed Me Yet?" became a classic revised edition of the original. Ryder donated all the proceeds of the book to the Mr. Self Foundation. The end.